everyone. Welcome back. You are listening to Whisk and Wonder Presents Savory Moments podcast. I am your host, Chef Erica Ashmead, also known as Cookbook Fanatic in these social media streets. On today's episode of Savory Moments, I sit down with my best virtual friend. And she is from D&M Valley Farm. She is many things, as you will hear, including a new mom, former bakery owner, a project manager, and a TikTok live host. So, Amanda, welcome.
Thank you. We already have people over here saying that they have questions. James says, I have questions.
Ask away. This is why I like it in this form, because then we get more questions that I didn't think about.
Yeah, James, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them. I'm here to answer.
Jogo is saying bakery thing.
Yeah. I had a bakery for a few years. And it was when I go through crisis, I have to do something. So I'm essentially like a maker. So I was going through a divorce at the time, and that was when I opened the bakery. So but I don't want to get ahead of it. I don't know, I wanted to follow your format.
So the first set of questions, I was going to congratulate you on becoming a mom. I know your son is what,
6 months now?
Or 7 months.
He's 8.
Hey, okay.
Time flies, man. I started this TikTok journey when he was 4 months old. It's been 4 months now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's amazing. So how exactly is motherhood treating you?
It's pretty rough at first. I'm honest. Yeah, it was pretty rough at first, but you have to give yourself grace and you have to kind of roll with it. Loses.
Right.
If not, you
right. Yeah. So how are you balancing everything? Because I know that your whole reason for going live was to be able to talk with other adults because of postpartum. So can you tell us how you balance everything now and how exactly did you come out of that?
So it was essentially my postpartum depression. It was rough. I was kind of just in a hole for a while, and there's still some days that I am in a hole. Now, how you cope with that, everybody copes in different ways. So some days I kind of just, sometimes I just kind of roll with it. Some days are better than others, and we just kind of just don't expect perfection.
Yep. Absolutely. I identify with that because I have my 3-year-old here begging me to put her shoes on at the moment.
She's like, we're not going anywhere. I don't know what you need.
Thank you. So I'm very interested in the bakery. What items did you have? Because this is the question. This is the one question that I was dying to know. What was your specialty? What was your favorite thing to do, for customers?
So, it was mostly a cakery. I did custom order cakes. We did fondant. I did buttercream. It was just kind of a complete custom bakery. But it was one of those things that was tailored. So if I had an order for a birthday party, I could do a cake and I could do cupcakes, or I could do a cake and I can do a bunch of cookies. Honestly, the thing, I don't even like making cakes anymore.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work. And it could just be the season that I'm going through right now. I still do a lot of baking and stuff like that, but it's a little bit more fine-tuned for my family. So now, we have the family reunion. Steve's family has over 300 people. Then that's just who go to the family reunion. There's so many more. So we do stuff like that. So I'll do a churro cheesecake bite. I'll do something else. It just kind of depends. Now as for what stuff was back then, I said, it was a lot of custom order cakes.
Awesome. And I heard you mention maybe it's just the season that you're in. Can you, or if you would like to, expound upon that? Because I know when I had my daughter, it was a lot of adjusting, not just mentally, but also physically, time-wise. You had this thing that was growing inside of you, and then it's outside of you, and then your body is like, what? So
yeah. So like when I mean season, I feel like everything in life has a season, right? So at some point, like right now I'm honestly like in survival stage right now.
Mm, mhm.
And like it's been that way for the last 8 months now. So sometimes you just have to do what you can to get by.
Yeah.
Does that mean that like I mean I try. Let's say this, like I try my best, obviously. But like sometimes I just have to accept that I'm not able to do the stuff that I was able to do before. I can't sit there. It takes me 2 days to make a sauce now. At this point, like it takes me 2 days to make a sauce because I have a kid. like and like he needs attention and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff that like I'm just trying to kind of you know, we'll say roll with at this point.
Thank you so much for answering that question because I feel like a lot of moms who have so many hats to wear, we don't really get to discuss. Some people say it might be complaining, but I think that it helps the next generation of moms. Because I know that when I was pregnant, it was like, I never heard anybody complain about this. I never heard anybody talk about that. I think that it makes other new moms or expecting moms aware that it will be hard, but you can get through it and other people have gone through it, so you're not alone.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot to becoming a new mom. And like I became a new mom when I was 36, almost 37, like literally just made it.
Right.
So but when I was 18 years old, I had a stepdaughter. And I'm telling you, like and I know we're talking about seasons, and like this is a little bit of a different kind of season. Because we're not just talking about like the season that I'm in right now. We're talking about the season of my entire life.
Yeah.
I will say that like it's a lot different from when I was in my 20s and having like a small kid versus being 36 and having a small kid. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. And like I know some of it's my energy level because I am 36 now, I'm not 20. And a lot of it is I contribute a lot of everything that I went through, like despite the fact, like not like despite the fact, but mentally, a lot of it's just because you don't have sleep. I mean, and even with him being 8 months old now, like he technically sleeps through the night, but he does get a little bit whiny a few times. And so with that, like that drains me in the morning. I had a doctor's appointment at 8:30 this morning. Do you know how like I was late? 100%. I was 100% late for that appointment. And I was the person before that like I was never late. I was always early. And so sometimes you just have to accept the change. But like you were saying, it's a constant balancing act. And at some point you kind of have to grieve the person that you were a little bit and just understand that like life's just
Yes.
going to be
Yes. Wow, thank you for saying that. I want to ask, what exactly was your high point during the bakery era? Because I know that you were going through something, but was there a high point during that time?
getting rid of the bakery actually was the high point. And I'll tell you why. I know that sounds ridiculous. But so I chose not to carry my bakery back over to California. Now I had everything like with like licensed and regulated in the state of Missouri. Like we were like a legitimate business.
Mhm.
I don't know why I keep saying we. It was literally just me. But anyway, but it was like a legit business. I'm talking insurance, license, registration, all of it. And when I moved back to California, I looked into like the licensing regs here and they were just too strenuous. So if you do want to open a bakery, Missouri, solid recommendation. But a lot easier there. Insurance
No
was
red
just
tape?
yeah, honestly, the insurance cost was so much more out here. We have like cottage bakery licensing out here, but it just wasn't something like I needed to get back on my feet. I needed to get home and I needed to get my life back together because there was it wasn't just the loss of like my husband. Like honestly, like my ex-husband was kind of like not he wasn't a great person. So like I wasn't really sad to lose him. But taking care of a kid for like almost 5 years and then finding out that like we were going through an adoption at the time. So I was trying to adopt her. And so in the middle of all of that, we split up. And so like then you have no legal right to adopt anymore because you're not together, you know. And so like we went through all of that. And so like I essentially lost my kid. I was the only mom that she knew.
Right.
She didn't know she had another mom. And because her mom kind of just, it was just too much for her when when my stepdaughter was 1. And so like she didn't really know she had another mom. And my ex-husband just decided that he wasn't trying to pursue that kind of relationship for his kid anymore, which sucks. But so I would say, like, even though like there was a low point after I moved back to Missouri, it kind of was moved back from Missouri. The high point was actually me coming home, and so that way I could figure out who I was again. Because outside of being my stepdaughter's mom and my ex-husband's wife, like I didn't know who I was anymore. And like that was before like I knew therapy was cool. So why not open a bakery? Same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I think that looking at you now, I think all of that was well worth it because I feel like you have grown and it was practice for the bundle that you have now. And I think that you know so much more about yourself and the way you carry yourself. Because when I first met you, I was like, this is an alpha woman, type A. She
Oh,
is
I'm
not.
very type A. I'm very type A, almost to a fault. I'm type A. But that's okay because someone has to be type A. We can't all just be.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't all be omegas. It's like
No.
someone has to be a type A.
Absolutely.
Might as well be.
What brought on the pivot when you said, you know what, I'm on TikTok?
Honestly, I don't even know. The funny thing is, I've had TikTok probably since like I don't know, like before COVID. But it was just like this was an account that I thought that like I was gonna grow, but it just didn't happen. Like it was like right when like we'd gotten chickens. Like I was doing a lot of like home stuff. So like it was COVID, right? So like everybody had their gardens, everybody had their chickens, everybody had like their like
Wine,
soap that they were making. Everybody was
everybody
DIY.
sourdough.
Everybody was going through the sourdough era. But and so was I. Like I was not immune to that at all. And so like, yeah, I mean, like I was making soaps. I was making hard soaps. I was making like liquid soap. I make a lavender salve that like is the best skincare I've ever had in my entire life. I started making that smoked garlic salt that I was telling you about. I
Yes.
started making my own barbecue rub, and I'm telling you, I made everything in this house. I started making my own vanilla extract. I started making other extracts like lime and lemon and what's the other one? Orange. I made my own orange cleaner because why? Because I didn't leave my house. And so like the peach syrup, Mama Case.
That's me too.
Yeah, I was canning everything. I was making jam left and right. I was experimenting with flavors of jam. So I was making like a smoked pineapple jam on the smoker because I thought that was going to be cool. Also, it's delicious. And then like it kind of just fizzled out because like I was like, meh, like this, it didn't really take off. It was a lot of work. Not like I was doing anything anyway because it was COVID, but I just kind of gave up on it. And then for whatever reason, in February, I just opened TikTok. And I haven't opened TikTok, I'm telling you, like years. It was just an app that sat on my phone that I didn't mess with. And so what I did is I opened TikTok and I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden, I see this like, it's like a grow room. And like there's people in it and they're chit-chatting and they're talking and they're doing all this stuff. And I was like, how stinking cool. And like I started like engaging in those, and like my followers were growing, but like the only thing I knew was the creator rewards program. I didn't know anything else. And so I was like, well, I guess we're getting to 10K. Honestly, for the longest time, I did not understand shop at all. And I was like, this just looks like a bunch of junk you can buy on Amazon. I don't understand. I get it now. And I have sold like 50 some odd of these. I know you did not think you were going to get a live without a crevice brush in it. But it's
You said it was for the flyaway.
It's for the flyaways. It's for the flyaways. It's for cleaning your toilet. Just don't use the same one. But what happened is like I started talking to people, and that was 100% like what I was missing. I was 100% missing people in my life, and like having son, because you had Luca, like, and there were like immediate like issues, And we were fortunate enough, like my son did have like a low birth weight, but it wasn't like extremely low. It was nothing like, it was just like, hey, we got to put some meat on this kid's bones. So, but it was also, he was born in winter. So there was like RSV season and stuff like that. And because of his low birth weight, go anywhere. So I just miss people. I really, really miss people. And like going in these rooms, it allowed me to have like the communication that I was, or not, yeah, the communication that I was looking for. And like it was almost like a fellowship, you know? And it's so nice because some of these people, you know, like from from the very beginning, like I still talk with. And I picked up some amazing people along the way. And so I really couldn't tell you what actually had me pick up my phone and open TikTok. And it was like the end of so glad that I did. But
Yeah.
and there are some days that I'm not glad I did. There are some days where I'm like, holy crap, this app is taking over my life.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of boundaries and a little bit of priority, like prioritizing, like we can 100%, you know, like, I mean,
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. Well, I for one am glad that I opened this app and I met you because first it was Tabitha and then I'm through Tabitha, I met you. And from there, the whole universe of TikTok opened up for me and it has been a wild ride since.
100% wild ride. 100% wild. Um, I just love Tabitha. I love her so much. And she, you know, there's a lot of, I will say, like, there's a lot of riffraff on this app, but there are just some truly genuine and amazing people that you can run into, that you can actually sit and call your friends.
Mhm.
You know, Steve, honestly, like Steve knows everybody that I talk to on a regular basis. Like he actually asked me the other day, he's like, did you send Erica my my salsa recipe? And I said, I did. He was like, didn't she ask for it? And I was like, yeah. And that's like honestly, like anybody that's like a mom within like the first year, like don't ever be scared to remind a mom of something. Like, because we forget.
Yes.
I forget freaking everything. So yeah, I'll get it to you. You just remind me. It's all cyclical. And then it's so funny. And I love it because like then you run into each other in other people's rooms. And I love that.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember who it was the other day, and I was like, "What's Erica doing in here?" And I was like, "How does she know this person?" And like, but it's because we run in the same circles, and you meet amazing people, and then you just kind of like try to like tag along with them because you want to meet more people.
Yes.
And so like I again like there are some days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like TikTok. But there are some days where like I'm just so excited to catch up with what people are doing and find out what's going on in it.
That's the best part. So what surprised you the most as you were doing the cooking lives? Because lately you've been amping up on them. So what surprised you the most about doing those?
Honestly, I hate cooking lives.
Really?
I hate them. And it's because like I know I'm so sorry, but I hate them. Like I like when other people do them, but like for me, I feel like there's so many extra steps. And like I'm one of those people, like I sit here and like I dump and I taste and I do all this. Like I don't have like a I don't know, like I don't have like a I don't know, like a prep that I have everything set up with. But when when I do a cooking live, I have to set everything up beforehand to make sure that that I don't forget something or to make sure I do it in the right order. It's just the extra prep that I don't like. And you know that. And then there's the camera angle.
Yes.
You know the camera angle. Mama K says it's a lot of work. It is. I love it. I was gonna do it the other day just for like when I was making sauce, and I'm like, this is gonna take 6 hours. Like, I'm not gonna sit online for.
Because sometimes when I say, "Oh yeah, that sounds good to make," I don't think about the fact, Erica, that takes this long. You're gonna be on live that long, and the prep before I wake up in the morning, feed my kid, and then I go.
You have to.
This is a whole
freaking dish, and that's just for one. That's for one stinking dish. Like, yeah, like I made a video when I was making the sauce the other day, and I still haven't posted it because I gotta piece that ding. Like, it's a pain in my butt. I mean, I think it's amazing. Like, I love the idea of sharing how we do things. I love the idea of of being able to like have someone technically like try
I love
something that maybe like our own personal recipe. Love that. I hate prep work, but I hate prep.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I cried the first time that I made a dish. It was the jerk scallops with the yellow rice
And asparagus.
and the mango salsa, which took all day to chop everything up for the salsa. But Amanda went and recreated the dish after I got off live. She sent me pictures of her making the same dish. Yes, you did the asparagus. She went the extra mile because I forgot.
A lot. Man, that was a lot. That was
I was still
Mama
baby.
Kate says, anyone remember my burnt tuna ring? I remember your I do.
So
And here's the thing, I love that because it's
Yes.
like how many times do you watch a cooking show and you sit there and you see and it's just perfection. Or
Yes.
you watch the cooking shows that like or like it's just a total disaster the entire time. But like we're on TikTok, man. Like we're not watching Food Network.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather like I burn shit all the time.
Yeah.
I would love like I love the fact that like she burnt her tuna ring. I still like she's laughing like right now. But like I'm laughing right now because I remember because I was in the room when it happened and I just remember her face and she's like, "Well, it's burnt." Like she's like, "But that's
cool.
life." And I was like, "No, it's
I
cool."
won't tell you guys that one day, I think I was making the shrimp etouffee. I had cornbread muffins in the oven that I forgot about. And I just sneakily took them out the oven. I said, "Okay, I'll be right back, guys." I threw those black muffins out.
Listen, I'm telling it's
You're
hard not to
alive.
forget
Yes,
stuff when
'cause
you're
you're
when
so
you're cooking.
engulfed in all of this. Like, oh, I gotta check this and I need to do this.
I love a cooking live because like it's something that I have to do anyway, right? So I love a cooking live. But I hate a cooking live because of all the prep that goes into it. And I just feel like you have to be like on spot like the whole time. And on top of that, like you got to make sure you have a good angle. You got to make sure and then you have to check the comments to make sure that everybody is, you know, like being responded to because you're trying to engage with the comments. Like it's just a lot. It's a lot. It would be cool if I had like I have my tablet and I have my phone, but it'd be cool if I had like another like phone just so like I could do and then yeah. So I don't know. I mean more cooking lines to come, but like just know that they're not
Favorite thing to cook?
honestly sauce. I love cooking my pasta sauce. And it's not gravy, it's sauce. I don't care where you come from. It's sauce. And it's a recipe that I developed on my own after watching several episodes of Pop Queen. And it's my favorite. And I love it because I do everything from scratch. So this year we actually have San Marzanos planted in the garden. So it's like truly gonna be like a home based meal because we have onions, we have garlic, and we have tomatoes. We have basil in the garden as well. So this year is just going to be absolutely amazing because we can sit here and we can actually.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. I do want to touch on the garden, the farm, and the choice to all of those vegetables, and then have the chicken and like. How did you come to that? Oh, let me answer Kaylee. Kaylee is asking, do we post our recipes before we make it so that people can cook along? I started out that way, and then only Amanda was cooking. So, but I do want to continue doing that. So whenever everybody subscribes, which by the way, if you become a subscriber before July 1st, you will get a prize, and I'll have all the recipes in Discord going forward. And I'm not sure if Amanda will post her recipes. Will you be doing that so people can cook with you?
No one's ever asked me to share my recipe.
I did, and I did get it. I want the
okay, that's technically that's not my recipe.
We all want the
A good salsa recipe.
I can tell. I looked at it, I was like, that looks different.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was going through my COVID phase, I make a salsa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like no, it's like it's more like a hot sauce than a salsa.
Hot sauce?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a fermented hot sauce and it's super good, but it's so spicy. Mama K, you can have that. Hey, you guys can have the recipes if
Thank you, Kaylee.
There's only like one that I can there's only like two that I consider like proprietary that I really don't share too much. But like I don't know. I'm bribable.
So, yes. So, what brought on? Was it the pandemic? Because I see the pandemic changes everybody's life
Yeah.
decision. So, was it a pandemic farm?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Like that's kind of just how it went down. I mean, I was really fortunate to have worked the entire time through the pandemic.
Mhm.
Um and so but like I had a lot of free time, right? And so I was like, "Oh, like let's make hot sauce. Let's do this." And I was like, "You know what? Like I can do all this stuff and I can sell it on the side." Did I? Like no. Like a little bit, but I never really like put like I never like that's the thing. Like I need a business partner. I can be the maker. I can do all the things. Like I have no problem with that. But like I just when it comes to the business side of things, I get so lazy. And that's just true. Yep, that's just true. Because like I'd rather be in the kitchen doing like I'd rather be in the kitchen and like I'd rather be talking to people, not because like I guess I have a feeling that like I'm bothering people or that I there's a specific word I'm trying to think of. Like like the solicitors that are outside the store that you just like don't want to talk to. Like I always feel that like when I'm on the business side of things that I seem like that. And I don't. I know I don't. But it just feels that way to me and it feels inorganic. And because it doesn't feel organic to be like tend to not hustling the business
Yes.
side of things.
I'm the same way. And that's why I've enlisted Candace. Some people say that, okay, you remember watching Life and Ray was always talking about room.
Ray's
Whiskey and
Boom
Wonder
Boom.
Farm is Ray's boom boom room until it becomes real. And Candace is going to be the sales and marketing.
That's what we
You're
need.
not.
We all need Candace because like we but I love that. And so I mean I did like street fairs and markets for a while. But also like some of that stuff like that takes a lot out of your day. And so I did that for a while, like honestly, like probably a couple years. And I did okay. But I mean it's a lot to have to like pack up and schlep your stuff everywhere and and then like maybe you have a good day, maybe you have a bad day, maybe you break even, maybe you make a couple bucks, like maybe you don't make any money. It was just so variable that it was really hard to sustain without having like an actual following. But you need time to develop your following, right? So yeah. So I did that for a while and that was fine. And then Steve came with me to some of it because he came into the picture in 2022. Yeah, so Steve came along on the ride for some of it. Conveniently after I built my own chicken coop. I've known this man since 2021. So before he left the job site, he told me that he would help me like finish my chicken coop. And so like I had called him or I didn't call him, but he texted me like randomly one day and he was like, "Hey, like you still need help with your chicken coop?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." Like, and he's like, "I can help you this day." And then like literally 5 minutes later, he texted me like, "Oh, I have to help my sister move that weekend." I was like, "You know what? Fine, don't need you." So I literally built my entire chicken coop except for yeah, I built it all myself. Like I framed it and did everything. So yeah, he came into the picture like I feel like very strategically after that.
Okay, Superwoman.
Yeah, I'm a carpenter. I'm a baker. I'm a candlestick maker. That's a
Soap maker.
soap candles, salsa aficionado, hot sauce extraordinaire. And like honestly, like the chickens were so cool. It seemed like such a good idea. It was a terrible idea. Don't get chickens. Don't do it. I know the people that at least are in my room have heard me say this before. Don't get chickens. It's not smart. What you want to do is you want to know someone that has chickens. Be that person because like even if you got to throw out a couple bucks for eggs, like we've had to do. I didn't go live yesterday because we had bath day. This is the second chicken bath day we've had because we can't get rid of the northern fowl mites that are on these chickens.
Really?
Yeah, and the northern fowl mites they come from those like wild birds, so we can't get rid of them. So like because like it's an environmental thing. It's not something we control. I cannot stop birds from flying in my yard.
Yeah.
And giving my chickens mites and lice and all that. So every once in a while we have to have chicken bath day.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, it sucks. I mean, like you have to clean out the pet. We have to clean out the pen anyway. That's not a big deal. I have to make like the mix the it's like essentially like a pesticide. Mix that in the water, and then we have to do chicken baths, and then we have to spray down the entire coop and the run. And northern Falmites live in the
My
you can
goodness.
imagine how hard
Yep.
that is. So
You never think about all the little jobs. Well, that sounds like a big job, honestly, but you never think about that when you want to own chickens. You just
no,
see
it
the
sucks.
little chicks.
They're so cute. I'm never doing chicks either. Listen, chicks are. Did I use my crevice? Thank you for asking.
Shameless plug. No.
I literally just keep one in my
Flyaways
hand
right
at all
now?
times. Why? Is it because
This episode of Savory Moments is brought to you by.
I now have a sub sticker that says a word from our sponsor. And just to
Trying
be
to
clear,
fly.
these crevice brushes are not sponsored.
It's not.
I wish they would. But yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I don't regret it now. Like so Steve and I's plan was always to kind of expand. Now, like our property isn't huge. We're on a quarter acre. But in San Diego, that's technically a lot bigger than most people's properties. And I can tell you that like I should only have 2 chickens, part of like my zoning, but whatever, that's not going to feed everybody's families. So I mean, we have 11 chickens. We have a meat rabbit that we rescued from Steve's grandpa after I bought it for him. Yeah, his name is Harry. But yeah, so but yeah, I mean, but we make the most of it. We make the most of the space that we have. So we have a lot of garden space. We have a 20 by 10 chicken run, but our chickens like pretty much free range throughout the day. Now we have an entire gaggle of fruit trees, but we have like multiple apple trees, multiple peach trees, multiple orange trees, different kinds of citrus. We have a guava tree, we have a fig tree, we have avocados, so like our farm essentially name, like it originated because I wanted to promote the stuff that I was making from like a farm to table option. So we're looking at, the salt and the garlic coming straight, well, not the salt, but like the garlic coming straight from here. The salsa and stuff like that was coming straight from our garden. Everything was being sourced on our property and being sold out that way. Like the peaches that we're canning, the jams, the jellies, all of that stuff. That was where the farm was coming from because we wanted to use it to be able to sell things and promote the fact that like we're like, hey, like we have this property, we plan to expand at some point and get like bigger like livestock and stuff like that, but right now we can't. But we're speaking it into existence. Now you specifically told me that I technically have a homestead. So it is what it is. Fine. But name's already registered with the state.
Honestly, I think that people get confused because there isn't a clear cut designation, honestly.
Yeah.
It says, do you sell or do you use it for personal use? So I'm guessing that it didn't even have like a number, like if you sell this much a year, you're considered a farm. If you don't,
and it was considered a farm. I thought you said if it was over 1,000.
I can't remember if
you might still have a farm, just not profitable. I don't know.
I think that was just it. But my thing is, why wouldn't it be go by size and not
size of what? Like a property?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, you could have a small property and still produce like a bunch of produce. So like if you think about it, orchard, like you can plant apple trees about 6 feet apart, depending on the variety of an apple tree. Mm-hmm. So like if we didn't have any outbuildings or anything on this property, we could have an entire apple orchard and like be like a completely sustainable like business selling apples. So I think that's probably why they don't have it in like a size perspective. But I do imagine that it's probably kind of hard to be able to differentiate. We are registered with the state of California as a farm. And I mean, I think it's more of like they don't care because they're getting money for it. So
honestly.
But yeah, so we're trying to figure it out because like originally, like I said, our plan was to expand to a bigger property, get bigger animals, maybe source our own beef, something like that. But that's going to greatly depend on what work looks like for me. Yeah. Because technically next week.
So like what's the plan with you going back to work? I don't know if everybody knows, but she's a project manager. Yes. I think it's doable. I think that you could do it. Products again.
I don't even have time to make them right now.
So I wanted to ask also is not since you've been growing all of your fruits and vegetables on your land, has your meaning or definition of sustainability and your view of the food system, has it changed? Any?
I've always been pretty like clear on where I stood with the food system. I'm forever team if you can source it yourself, do it that way. If you can't source it yourself, find a reliable source to find it from. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I'm kind of glad that we're on the scale that we're at right now. With all the stuff that's happening in our country right now, it's a very tumultuous time to be a big agricultural farmer. And so right now I'm very lucky to be where I'm at right now and still conscious of like the stuff that's going on. But like the fact that I can manage it myself is very nice. And there's really nothing fresher than, walking out in the backyard and being able to grab some eggs or grab some fruit or grab some vegetables and bring it in the house and cook. Having a grocery store in your backyard is one of the most underrated things right now that really should be, in my opinion, higher up on people's priority lists. I have friends that like I've started patio gardens for them, because they live in an apartment. They're like, oh, we didn't think that we could, have our own, this or that or whatever. And I'm like, here's an orange tree. It's not going to get that big. You can put it on your patio and then you can have fresh orange juice. Or you can do like a little salsa garden if you want to. And it just doesn't take up that much space. That being said, my biggest tomato plant is almost the size of me. So yeah, Mama Kay says you can or freeze so many types of produce. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. I'm learning that as well. I have had the dream of wanting to grow a garden for so many years. And then last year I couldn't. But this year, me and my daughter, we picked 5 things to grow. And they're out there doing pretty well, except for my beefy tomato. But my heirloom golden jubilee is beautiful. It just feels so good to where she's so excited every morning. I have to go check on the baby. So I'm trying to teach her that growing your own food, taking matters into your own hands, especially with so many preservatives being in foods these days, especially in the United States, that this is the most revolutionary thing you can do for your life.
Food. 100%. If you can source something yourself, I'm a huge proponent of because you don't know what anybody's done to it. And that's not like a paranoia thing. That's just a freshness thing. I love it. I'm kind of like your daughter where I'll sit there and I'll like to go and check on my plants every day. I go out, I feed the chickens, I feed the rabbit, and I check on my garden. I like to plant different varieties of things that I've never tried before. So this year we have a Queen of the Night tomato we're growing, and it's a purple grape tomato. And that's one of the things I really hope to pass on to my son is hey, you can grow your own food. And it's it's not I know a lot of people it's free, it's in your backyard. It's still technically free.
Is that labor?
You gotta pay for the water, you gotta pay for the labor, but it is more rewarding than just being able to go to the grocery store and hoping that whatever produce you're looking for, hoping it's in good shape and hoping that, big ag is being honest about what they're telling you. A lot of people don't know that a lot of the starters and seedlings that you're buying at the store are actually owned by a sub company of Monsanto, and that Miracle-Gro and all of that stuff. So for us, I'm a seed saver. I have friends that are seed savers, and we just get together, we seed swap. And so everything I grow, every tomato, at least one of them, I stop and I grab the seeds out of it. Now for baby food, because I make my baby food myself. So if I do have to go to the store, I went and I got a delicata squash and I got a butternut squash from the store. I mixed those together. I made them some baby food. I took every single seed out of it.
Okay.
Because I got the squash. Right? And so why wouldn't I save the seeds to be able
we waste not, want not.
Exactly. And I have a big binder of seeds and people come over and they're like, hey, let me see your seed book. And they come and they can, yeah, it's just a big binder. And I have the little seed packets in it and it works. It works. A lot of the seeds. And then a lot of people don't know you can get seeds for free places. There's so much. We were talking about sourdough earlier. People don't know you can get a free sourdough starter. It's Carl Griffith's 1847 Oregon Trail sourdough. And let me tell you, it took 4 months to get here, but it got here and it was free. That's cool, Mama Kay. That's really cool. She said she brought him a whole bag of maple tree seeds from her parents.
Oh,
But yeah, so I just got it. I'm gonna be rehydrating that in the next couple days. But yeah, and it was completely free. All I had to do was mail a stamped envelope. Like people don't like a lot of people don't know that like to do these things, like the sustainable living, like the getting back to basics, the doing it on your own, it isn't that hard and it
right. You
doesn't
just
have
got away from that practice because that was everyday life, and then technology kind of
the convenience factor.
right.
It's 100% the convenience factor. And the problem with that is now we have stuff like Chat GPT and like and it's just me, but like I'm like, are we gonna use our
She's saying we get so caught up in social media and the trends, and we just lost our way. And yes, Jogo, I will take you up on some seeds as well. Thank you.
and don't get me wrong, I use Chat GPT sometimes. I don't want to think of a caption for my video and I don't want to think of hashtag. But like for the most part, and like sometimes I want them to generate a sub sticker for me. But like I know people that use Chat GPT, like they won't do anything without consulting Chat GPT first.
What?
And I'm like, that seems
Right.
exhausting. Like you need to be able
Mm-mm.
to.
I'm not gonna tell you guys my little theory, but I just feel like when we're using Chat GPT too much, we're feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. I could be watching a little bit too much AI movies, but I just feel like one day we're gonna regret all this. It's gonna know everything about us, how we move, and it's gonna be bad. No.
It already does, like I'm sure. But just like for me, like I'll use it for like stuff that like I'm not like I don't know. Like I'll use again for like captions and stuff for TikTok because like that's exhausting. Like
Yeah.
after you just edited a video, like my brain is like I'm telling you, it's on like 50% capacity right now. That's what we're operating off of. So like thinking of TikTok captions and hashtag are not the highest of my interest at the moment. Sometimes they hit and sometimes they don't, by the way. So also the same with creator search insights, but that's another topic for another day. But I do I really appreciate like the platform itself because it's given me the ability to like talk to people that I maybe like I wouldn't have run into otherwise, and like to be able to share common goals and interests. And Mama K says like, hey, like I'll take seeds too. Like I love that because like what if I have a variety of something that you've never tried before? We can figure out how to make it grow in your climate. Like if that's the case, like you could try something different. I'll take seeds too, as long as someone doesn't send eggplant because I don't like eggplant. Other kind of eggplant. No egg parmesan. Nope. Give me chicken. Other than that, there's really not like a food. What about eggplant bothers me? It tastes like a
Really?
it tastes like a sponge that someone forgot. I don't know, like in this for a year.
Oh my.
I don't-
Well,
Like-
we have reached the part of the interview where I like to do choir questions. Sweet
Savory.
go-to kitchen tool.
Me? I don't know. Me? I'm the only thing that works in my
Acceptable.
kitchen. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I can't like. I don't know.
Okay.
Spatula? A
Drink-
crevice brush?
Here she goes with this dinner guess.
You know what? I was gonna say Julia Child, but I heard she was kind of an ass.
Oh, like the people who are up here, don't we always find out that they are like B's and A's and we gotta
Because and not Pioneer Woman. I don't know what she be cooking sometimes.
Can I tell this story really quickly? My best friend, I used to be on Twitter very heavily. And back when she first started, I would say, I'm not watching Pioneer Woman because I felt like her recipes were Crocker. And I said that and I tagged
No, you did not.
on Twitter back, and she tore me a new one, and I have not been back on Twitter since. She said, well, there are a lot of people who enjoy my Betty Crocker recipes.
Oh, well. Listen, Dee Drummond, I absolutely love you. I need to be just in case she's listening to this podcast.
I love her too.
I love Ree Drummond, but I
they're
don't
real
like her Mexican recipes because I don't.
Absolutely.
Steve is Mexican. Like Steve's family is Mexican. And I showed him some of her recipes and he was like, what is she doing? He's like, we don't even make that. He's like, what is that? Yeah. Mama K's to each their own. And I agree with that. I love her as a person. I love her energy.
Yes.
I love the fact that she lives on a farm and she's doing other stuff like, like opening her like little bed and breakfast thing. I love that. But like I'm telling you, if she offered me Mexican food, I would
respect her hustle. As a businesswoman, she is killing it. And she has made a whole economy in her town surrounding her.
And her stuff is cute. Like those, like all the little knickknacks and slow cookers and stuff that she has at Walmart.
I love it. What's one recipe that fails for you?
One recipe that never fails? Masala. Mama K says, and as a rancher's wife, mom, etc., my husband can't stand the pitch of her voice. I love her though. I just wouldn't let her cook me Mexican food. She can make a mean
I did see that she had those big margaritas that she was selling in a cafe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a whole trip.
Maybe we just go. And breakfast there.
You can tour the house where she films, because that's not where she lives. That's just where the people live.
No, that's her.
Yeah.
She went into this all like Taylor Swift, man.
Absolutely.
She went into this,
and it wasn't her parents. It's the husband, because we can read. You know what? I'm gonna stop where I'm.
Episode 2. This is continuation.
I don't want anybody to misconstrue my podcast to be a redrumming.
Hate redrumming.
I love her,
but dang, I know we none of us married the right way. But
I'm not married, so
no. Mama K chose wisely, though. Mama K chose wisely. I saw all that housework that was happening.
Mama K is the luckiest lady in the world. Her hubby loves her down. Okay, you go, Mama K. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your mama schedule to talk with me, because I definitely did tell you it would take about 30 to 45 minutes, and it did not. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and I just want to say thank you to you, and I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. Why don't we just do coffee one day together, just in boxes? I mean, I know it's a little bit different than being in person, obviously, but I don't see why we couldn't just do like a morning. How cool would that be? But yeah. Hey, I'm always down if you want to do a follow-up episode and we can delve into I'm not trying to, get blacklisted by read.
No, but
maybe we just need a coffee date where we can talk about our feelings about.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of Savory Moments. If today's conversation fed your spirit or sparked some inspiration, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friend or two who loves food with heart. You can find full show notes, recipes, and more on the blog. Until next time, savor every moment, both in the kitchen and in life.